Planet Dolan.
Who made human sacrifices in the name of Slenderman? Who murdered family members out of curiosity? Today we count 15 of the most dangerous children on Earth. I'm Hellbent, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 15. Jordan Brown. The murderer of a 26-year-old woman from Pennsylvania was only 11 years old when he killed her in cold blood. Kinsey Hoke was 8.5 months pregnant with her fiancé's baby when she lost her life in a brutal double murder. Her fiancé's son, Jordan Brown, was apparently so jealous that the new baby would take attention away from him that he shot her in the back of the head while she was sleeping using a shotgun. Both Hoke and the baby died. The 11-year-old was given the gun by his father for Christmas. Number 14. Michael Hernandez. 12 years after murdering in cold blood, convicted killer Michael Hernandez was resentenced to life in prison. When he was just 14 years old, Hernandez decided to live out one of his sickest fantasies, murdering a classmate in broad daylight. He came prepared with tape, rubber gloves, and a knife. He lured teenager Jamie Goff into the toilets one school day and proceeded to stab him 40 times, as well as slitting his throat. After the violent attack, Hernandez went to his next class and acted like nothing had happened. Thankfully, a judge imposed the maximum penalty on Hernandez, who will now spend the rest of his life in prison. Number 13. Josh Phillips. When an 8-year-old girl went missing in Jacksonville, Florida, police searched every part of the neighborhood, but nobody expected to find the body where it was hidden. A week after Maddie Clifton was reported missing, a mother was cleaning her son's room when she came across a liquid seeping from his waterbed. On further inspection, she discovered Maddie's corpse underneath. Phillips explained that he accidentally hit the young girl with a baseball while they were playing, and instead of getting help, he beat her to death with a bat and stabbed her. He was excused from the death penalty because he was under 16 at the time. Number 12. Slenderman Trial. If you think the horrors of Slenderman end at your computer screen, guess again. In 2014, a girl named Peyton Leutner was lured into some woods and barely came out alive after being stabbed 19 times. The assailants were two 12-year-old girls named Anicia Wire and Morgan Geyser. They believed that the fictional character Slenderman asked them to murder someone in order to become his loyal servants. After the attack, the girls were found walking around in the woods looking for Slenderman so that they could go live in his mansion. Number 11. Coulier and the Wolf. Two young troublemakers from California shocked the world after they were found guilty of a heinous crime. Cindy Coulier and Shirley Wolf met in juvenile detention and instantly formed an alliance. Both of the girls had unimaginably horrible childhoods which turned them into violent and bitter teenagers. When they were 14 and 15, they went out searching for a victim. They came across an 85-year-old woman who let them inside for a glass of water. They stabbed and murdered the woman before looting the place and fleeing. They were eventually released from prison 9 years later. Number 10. Cristian Fernandez. In 2011, a 12-year-old boy was left unattended with his 2-year-old brother when the unthinkable happened. Cristian Fernandez and his mother Susanna had both lived rough lives. They had both suffered all sorts of abuse and even experienced Fernandez's father killing himself in front of the kids. One day, when Susanna was out of the house, Cristian shoved his 2-year-old brother into a bookshelf and then told his mom that David had fallen off the bunk bed. Instead of taking him straight to the hospital, she apparently waited 8 hours, fearing that her children would be taken away from her. David died, and Fernandez will apparently be incarcerated until his 19th birthday. Number 9. Brian and David Freeman. A pair of brothers from Pennsylvania went on a rampage that ended with them both being thrown in prison for life. Brian Freeman, who was 17 at the time, and his brother David, who was 15, were troubled in their youths. The pair tattooed neo-Nazi phrases on their bare foreheads before deciding to kill their whole family. They stabbed their mother, then went upstairs and beat their father to death in his bed. And then they turned on their 11-year-old brother, who they killed with a pickaxe. Unsurprisingly, they'll be in prison for the rest of their lives. Number 8. Majeed Sudah. In 2008, the title of the world's youngest serial killer was given to a child in India. Majeed Sudah was only 8 years old when he was found to have killed 3 babies. The murder started when he took his 6-month-old cousin into a field and struck the baby with a rock. Then he did the same thing to his own baby sister and eventually a neighbor's child. When he was arrested and taken in for questioning, Sudah apparently didn't speak much. He just smiled whenever he was questioned about the murders and asked for biscuits. Number 7. Sasebo. 2 separate yet unimaginably horrible murders happened in the town of Sasebo in Japan. The first case saw a teenage girl slitting the throat of a classmate in the school cafeteria in 2004. The motive was apparently cyberbullying. 10 years later in 2014, another 15-year-old girl from the same town was arrested when police found the dismembered body of one of her classmates in her apartment. She reportedly told the police, "I wanted to kill someone," and that she wanted to dissect a body, which is why she decapitated the victim and cut their body open. Number 6. Craig Price. The youngest serial killer in U.S. history chose victims that lived in his own neighborhood. Craig Price broke into a nearby house in Warwick, Rhode Island when he was 13 years old and stabbed a woman to death. The case went unsolved for 2 years until his second violent rampage. He reportedly broke into a house with the intention of stealing, but accidentally woke up a female occupant. He strangled and stabbed her before her 2 young daughters came and tried to fight Pierce off. He killed all 3 of them. His violent tendencies continued while he was in prison, extending his sentence by several years. Number 5. Kipland Kinkel. At just 15 years old, a young man from Thurston High School unleashed an unimaginable terror in his hometown. After being expelled from his school, Kipland Kinkel tipped over the edge and shot his father, then his mother, before rigging his home with explosives. The next day, he returned to high school with his gun and opened fire in a cafeteria. 2 students were shot dead and 25 others were injured. While he was reloading, 7 brave students tackled and disarmed Kinkel while police arrived. Thankfully, Kinkel is now serving a 111-year sentence behind bars, where he belongs. Number 4. John Venables and Robert Thompson. The whole country of England was rattled in 1993 when news emerged of a toddler who was murdered by 2 children. John Venables and Robert Thompson were 10 years old when they decided to skip school one day. They were later seen on security footage stealing from various shops before stealing their main prize, an unattended 2-year-old boy. They took the boy on a long walk before assaulting him in unimaginable ways. Then they left the boy's body on some train tracks where it was cut in half by a passing train and discovered several days later. The pair were later released from prison and now live with fake identities. Number 3. Barry DeLucatis. In 1996, a small classroom at Moses Lake turned into a horrific bloodbath. Barry DeLucatis dressed up as a Wild West gunslinger and packed a rifle and 2 handguns to bring with him to school. As soon as he walked into the classroom, he shot and killed the teacher and several other students. When the students started to panic, he reportedly said, "This sure beats algebra, doesn't it?" which was a quote from a Stephen King novel. A teacher who he took hostage managed to wrestle Lucatis to the ground before he could kill anyone else. Number 2. Alyssa Bustamante. The only thing more disturbing than a murder is when the killer writes about enjoying it. In 2009, Alyssa Bustamante from Missouri was 15 when she decided she wanted to kill. The act was premeditated. She dug 2 graves nearby in anticipation of her victims. Then one night, when her 9-year-old neighbor was walking home, she grabbed the child, slit her throat, and buried her in the grave. Bustamante went home and wrote in her journal how killing felt amazing and enjoyable. It has been suggested that the 2 graves were originally dug for her 2 brothers, though she denied this. Number 1. Edmund Kemper. During his childhood, Edmund Kemper started showing disturbing signs of the horrible acts he would commit later on. At the age of 10, Kemper buried a pet cat alive, then slaughtered another one with a knife when he was 13 years old. Then, when he was 15, Kemper was sent to live with his grandparents. He procured a rifle and shot his grandmother to see what it felt like. Then he turned the rifle on his grandfather. Surprisingly, at 21 years old, he was released from prison and ended up killing up to 8 more times, including his own mother. This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys. Thank you for watching.